On September 12, Switzerland was in for a nice surprise. The first snow was forecasted, a bit early for the season, but still not unusual. And to make my hairy friend Rasta happy, we went up from Lauterbrunnen via Wengen to Kleine Scheidegg to give him a few moments of snow. As we drove up, everything was still green up to Wengener Alp, but then the trees were already turning white. The cows didn't seem to like the cold temperatures as much as I did, but had to endure it for better or worse. Of course, we had put on our winter clothes, winter boots and winter gloves and thick winter coat. On the Kleine Scheidegg, it was not quite as wintry as I had hoped, but it was enough for a bit of fun in the snow. We really only did this trip because of the snow. Rasta and I, we are big winter and snow fans, and therefore take every opportunity to get into the snow. The next day, the landscape looked very wintry. You could hardly see any grass anymore, and I had a big grin on my face. We enjoyed the ride, and the snow even stayed until Wengen. In Wengen, we had a brief moment of shock. As we entered the train station, I heard a cracking sound. I looked back and just saw a tree crash onto the walkway. Based on the people running to the scene of this accident, I assumed that the person had been hit by the tree. I was a bit shocked and thought once again, life can be over in a second, if you are in the wrong place at the wrong time. Sadly, the person did not survive, so appreciate every second, okay? Last year, by the way, the first snow came very late. I checked the archives, and last year the first snow actually didn't come until November 2nd. That's when I went to Mürren. It snowed. Look mal, wie schön. How beautiful. Oi, 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 oi. Oh, I feel like a child. Yay. Hey cat, I built you a snowman. Oh, but I think she's not amused. Huh? You saw better snowmen in your life, right? Okay, I'm working on it. I'm dreaming of a white November. Ah, so schön. Well, it is not unusual that it is snowing in November, but it is always something special. The first snow here in Switzerland. I have a big smile on my face. We have still some leaves on the trees. Oh, yeah, they must be freezing now. Hotel Blumenthal is in sleepy modus. Remember this room here? Wo ist der Finger? Da. Yeah, I stayed here several times. Yeah, with Eiger view, but yeah, today no Eiger. I mean, they got about 10 centimeters of fresh new snow, or maybe a little bit more. Yeah. Looks winterly, gal. Yeah, it is mid-season in Mürren and almost everything is closed. Yeah, also the Almenthubel train. Yeah, it should reopen at about the 8th of December. Ja, da kannst du wieder raufreisen. You maybe ask if I was surprised about the snowfall. Well, they announced some snowfall at about 1,300 meters above sea level. But every time you do not expect this kind of winter look. Right? Yeah. Yeah, we walked now through Mürren and we are at the train station. Yeah, from Alps to Mürren. And this is the classic view of Mürren. Oh, look mal, wie schön. Ja, huh? That could be a nice thumbnail. Huh? Was meinst du?
Sometimes there are chamois here, but yeah, because of the snow, I think they are in lower altitude. Yeah, to get some grass. Or they just, look, it's the tamarice. Look. Here it is. Crazy, huh?
We are right now in Gimmelwald. Ja, wenn wir schon mal da sind. Hä? Oh, Gimmelwald with snowfall in November. Hä? Best. You know what I love most on winter days like this? The silence. Back to 2024. The first snow in September looked great on the mountains. The Brienz Rothorn chain was also covered in snow, while it was still green down in Brienz. The descent of the cattle was also brought forward in some places due to the early snowfall. And so the cows and the herdsmen came down from the mountains everywhere. A great spectacle. The first snow never stays for long, though. A few days later, everything had melted away again. The ideal time for an autumn excursion to the Niederhorn. This is located above Lake Thun and can be reached from Brienz by taking the funicular and cable car in about 1 hour.
Rasta, badly. Huh?
Rasta loves all kinds
Yeah.
of gondola rides and can hardly wait to get on. First, the funicular takes you up to Beatenberg. The ride offers wonderful views of Lake Thun and the Niesen. In Beatenberg, you then change to the triple gondolas. Once again, it is worth not traveling with the flow. We had every means of transport to ourselves. The Niederhorn is well known for its Ibex population. We were lucky and could watch Ibex mothers with their young. Our good friend Jaroslav accompanied us again this time, and so we looked forward to the sunset together. The sunset up here is truly breathtakingly beautiful. And we all know, after the sunset is before the sunrise. Despite my cold, I pulled myself together and each of us went about our business, Rasta included.
Jaroslav, are you ready? Can I see your ready face?
After a hearty breakfast, it was time to go. We said goodbye to Jaroslav and his family and went back the same way. It was a wonderful experience, but due to my cold, I couldn't enjoy it as much as I usually do. In the meantime, I have recovered from my cold and I am looking forward to the next autumn excursions.